witches.
Hi, hello, and welcome back. Having really bad sensory day, so I'm just annoyingly anxious
I had one of those
because
days the other
everything's
day. Like, I
failing.
just burst into tears because I couldn't quit coughing. Um, I was too hot, but I was also like, if I took the blanket off, I was cold. But if I had the blanket on, I was hot. And then I could feel my toes, and everything kept touching my toes. And I was like, ah, my toes were like, I don't know. Anyway, I feel your
Will has
pain.
Will has some of those days, but with his nails, it's like he just
Mm.
feels his nails, and it just really bugs him.
It's usually my toenails that I can feel. Like if
Ah,
my toenails are like I feel like I need to like pull the skin off the sides of my toenails. I don't know. It sounds really weird, but
yeah. I have an equivalent to that, like where I just
because I have
and you
little
just gotta take a
sausage
deep
toes,
breath.
and sometimes the skin on the sides of my toes will our toenails will like
Fold
overlap.
over.
I don't get like ingrown toenails or anything like that, but like it's just too much, and it's like I just want to like push the skin off of it. Anyway,
Makes me
it's
want to
enough about my gross sausage
touch
toes.
my toe. My mom, was it my mom or my dad? Someone said that I have square toes, and I was like, don't say that to me.
I just
And
have
it's
fat little
been,
piggies.
well, you know what? I always thought my hands were fat just because they're short. There's a lot less
Yeah.
room for the skin to go to, so I just feel like they're like fat. And then whenever someone's like, "Yeah, you got square toes," I was like, "What?"
What does that
that's
even
not
mean?
that's not how cartoon hands look. I don't like that. The blocky ones are the weird ones. I don't want to be that person. I want to be Kim Possible with like the nice little. Ugh.
Okay, just
Anyways,
for forewarning, we got the cats a new toy, and it is the cutest fucking thing. It's a little sandpiper bird, but
oh
it
oh
like when
oh.
they move it, it like starts flapping its wings and chirping. And because they're annoying, I could see them doing that while we're recording. So just be prepared. If you hear chirping, it is the cat.
I was gonna say, have they been doing it? Because I didn't hear anything.
No, they haven't yet, but they just
I
went
was
over
like,
there.
I think we're okay. No, 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 we're not.
No, you'll
Oh.
hear it.
It's like, man, what's that
But
bee in my ear?
anyway, sir, tarot reflection. 2023 tarot
What a
reflection.
year has been.
Dude, I was going back through these and some of them I was like, "Oh my god." Like, ugh.
It's just kind of weird, like when you think about your year, and then Will say whatever because I mean he doesn't believe in this, and that's fine. That's him. But he'll be like, now think about it. Are you saying that these are true because you're like manipulating what the cards say to like what that? And I'm just sitting here like, maybe, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Suck my dick. Like, let
I
me
could
have my
totally be
laugh.
making the cards fit my situation,
That's the problem with
but
like psychology.
they do, yeah. But they do fit. Like what we talked about in that episode a year ago, at least for like the later months, is so accurate.
Yeah, I feel that. It's just kind of weird where you're just like, all of this was our
Yeah.
year. Ugh, weird. Anyways, January. You go
January.
first.
Okay. I had the Two of Wands reversed, and I was supposed to proceed with caution and take control of situations. Which I feel like I did in January. Like I was starting to change things in my classroom and like make
My
things
bad.
better and like um trying to change my attitude about things. So I feel like I did that. But
I am
you
so
know,
sorry.
foreshadowing. What are you doing?
I just heard Brandy not in my ears, and I was like, sorry, it's been a day.
Okay. Y'all
Oh,
right?
no, I'm sorry. I was trying to turn my headphones up. What?
My screen.
Oh.
There's a cat. He's being weird.
Ew.
All right. Let me kick this one out real quick because I think he has to pee. I think that's why he's getting into shit. But Emily, what was your January?
What was my January? Oh my god. So I had the Four of Pentacles, which is like wealth, frugality, stability, and all of that. In January, I recently found out it was the month that I found out I got a promotion. So obviously, the promotion came with a pay raise, and we weren't like necessarily struggling, but we weren't like doing the best. It was really hard to save, basically. So with the new promotion, I was actually able to put more money back, but put more money towards like um, bills, savings, anything like that. That like of things that we wanted to do this year. So yeah, mine was pretty accurate with the
Nice.
frugality, stability, wealth, all of that.
I went back and I actually listened to the episode, which I don't usually listen to our episodes because I don't like hearing myself talk. And I was struggling at some points to tell our voices apart. So I was really interested to see if other people have that same issue because there were some points where I thought it was me. And then as I started listening, I was like, nope, nope, that's not me.
That's me.
So,
That's
February.
weird.
Excuse me, gross. Nope. February, I had the Five of Swords reversed, which is a change, time of adjustment, diplomacy to solve problems, avoid arguments, regret, or unhappiness. Um, and I mentioned thinking that it was either about work or my relationship with my father. Um, and then I was like, well, maybe the battle is with myself. Like the battle that I'm having this year is with myself. I feel like it was pretty true for work. I was able to work through some things and get some additional supports, which made things get better at work. And then we hired additional staff member, like lots of things there. Relationship with my dad definitely did not improve in February. That is not the case, but things have started to get better a little bit more recently, like in December. But I was
Maybe it
definitely
was
dealing with
like the
season.
turning point of like the
Maybe,
start of it. Like this month is something happened that defined how your relationship with your dad went. Like maybe that's what it is.
maybe that's when my grandpa started dying because that's really the catalyst that started bringing us back together. So could be.
Yeah.
Um, but I was also definitely dealing with like seasonal affective disorder and my other issues related to my bipolar disorder. So like there was definitely a time of like regret, unhappiness. I was not doing so hot in February.
Let's see. Um February was the 7 of pentagrams and
Pentacles. You did the same
Pentacle.
thing in the last year's episode, which makes that amazing. Like when I was listening to it, you did the same exact thing. And you were like,
Well,
I'm looking at it and there's a picture of a pentagram. So I said pentagram and it just made me laugh.
maybe I'm not, I don't know. Maybe it's pentagram to me for now and forever. Um, but anyways, so that um that month I think was really kind of like the time that we what is it? We started planning like our trip. So we were going to like Pigeon Forge, Tennessee in July. And that was when we started getting like concrete plans, so, like what we wanted to do, like see things, just kind of get an idea on like money wise, because obviously I need to grow that pocketbook for me to go. Um, so February, I think that was also the month too that my one of my best friends told me that she really wanted to do like a cruise for her 30th birthday, and so that was part of the planning of that wealth, um, which is what Seven of Pentagrams, Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Now that you brought that up, now I'm gonna like fix that really quick. But that was when like the start of that increased money flow came, and we were actually able to do more things around the area and plan for future trips.
Love that. Well, March,
March.
I had the sun, positive, new days dawning, new projects, happiness, yada yada. Um, I did start to come out of seasonal affective disorder around this time, around spring break, which would have been like mid March. And I convinced the RBT to become a para in my classroom. So Kara joined my team, which really changed my classroom dynamic and made me decide, like, that's when I decided I was going to stay, I think, um,
I think, yeah, because
at
that was when we were
BGM.
talking about it,
Yeah.
about
And I was,
should you resign again, and
yeah, I think I was still like trying to decide. Like, that's when I started thinking about, like, am I going to stay or am I leaving?
other options for you.
Yeah.
Because that month too, you were like, it's not the school, it's not this, it's just everything else that's involved with it.
Which is still the case.
Yeah, feel that.
Did you hear
Is
that?
that mine? Yeah, I hear yours. I thought that was outside my apartment.
No, it's Brittany yelling at the cat.
Did you give him the chirp toy?
No, that's in here. He's chewing
I
on a
would have been
box,
like,
it sounds like.
oh, that's so funny. So March. March was Page of Cups. So like inner child, inspiration, dreamer, head in the clouds kind of card. And March was really kind of that time where I was starting to settle into my new position, and like I was comfortable enough to make that decision and make my new department my own, and like kind of learn from previous people, and but like put my twist on it. And so it's just kind of like the like I'm excited where I'm at. Like I was doing what I've wanted to do for my own department kind of thing, and not having to worry about other people, and like if I was overstepping their toes, like I was officially able to choose what I wanted to do and see where I wanted to go with it. Um, Also, I think that's when I like really started to get not more involved in acting, but like I reached back out to my acting coach, and I was able to like get back into acting and do like little skits for a little play uh, association back in town. So like that whole month was just inspirationally, um, I don't know, uplifting.
Yeah. Well, then we went into
April.
April. April, I had the Four of Wands, which is happy, positive, success, comfort, which was pretty accurate for my April. Like things were starting to look up at work. I wrote in here. That's when I decided I was going to stay at BGM for another year. Like I made that decision. I was coming back, and I started planning for the next year. So I was kind of looking towards the future and was happy with where I was at. I'm just waiting for that other shoe to drop, which it did. Not in April, but it did.
It started. So April, I had the Seven of Swords. So, I think this really resonates more with my work life this month than any other thing because um, that was the month that my like manager, the assistant store leader, she was my position. Like I came in under her. I like got all my good like not ideas, but like if I had questions, she was the one to ask. Like she was very knowledgeable and she made me knowledgeable and made me like a sponge of information for the store. And um that was when she went into labor and she left suddenly and drastically once I started like because like the official paperwork went through, like our old store leader left, or assistant store leader left, like everyone started merging into their roles, and then she just was like, "Bye, I'm having this kid now." Suddenly, 2 months in advance. Um, so it is about cunning, trickery, and resourcefulness. So I really had to trick myself into believing I could do this job without like failing because I also had to step into her role and help out like here and there on different things at the store. And I was like, okay, guess I'm gonna use my big girl brains and trick myself and everyone else into thinking I am doing a great job. It
And you
worked
did. Yeah.
because it worked because everyone was like, "You did such a great job." Even the district manager said I was doing a great job, and I was like, "Was I?" Because sometimes I felt like crying because I was
Doesn't mean
doing
you
a
weren't doing
job
a good job.
right. Well, and here's the thing: that was also the week that happened was the week that the store leader was out on vacation. She was the one who was going to be doing everything while he was away, and then she was like, oops, having this kid, and then it fell on me. And then at that time we had already had her out, and then we had another call out that day, so it was just myself, the inventory manager, and our cashier that day. So I had to merge into the role of pet care and manager and a fire person because he left. He always leaves early. He doesn't really stay, especially when we have assist like when we need the assistance. He just leaves for one excuse or another. Whatever. That's a tangent I'm not going on. But that day, there was an accident in the salon. A dog got like nicked during the shaving process, and I had never done like an incident before. So I had no idea what I was doing. She was gone. The manager that was there was like, I don't know. I don't know I don't know what to do, what to like how to tell you. And I didn't want to call my boss who's literally in the fucking mountains. I might not get him. He's on vacation. And then he left, so then it was just myself and the cashier dealing with an incident, talking to pet parents, talking to the vet, and then doing everything else from pet care to manager to backup. So that is accurate.
I like it.
That
I
was a
like it.
week. But I think
But
that
you
was the
did it.
week that, yeah, that was the week that my district manager was like, listen, I remember when she went out, like you stepped into that role flawlessly. And I was like, thanks so much. So, anyways, oh, memory lane.
Nice. Oh, April. Now, May. I had the Ace of Cups reversed. So it was new beginnings, don't develop or turn out, don't start anything new. You're stifled or uninspired. And I was talking about how that would be the end of the school year and I would probably be feeling some burnout. Absolutely accurate. I was so burnt out at the end of the school year. I was ready for summer. I was ready for a break. I did not have the time or the energy to think about anything new, even though I had like a business idea in my head of something I wanted to do. I just
I
didn't
still
have
think
the
you should.
time. I know, but it's a lot more complicated than it sounds.
It is.
Um, so I was just like, bleh. And that was pretty accurate to what the card said. So,
Yeah. May, it was Five of Cups reversed. And anytime I see cups reversed, I just feel like 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 when you have money in your pocketbook, you flip it over and money falls out. Like that's the like idea I get when I have a cups of any card reversed. Um, so this is like moving on, seeing the positives and finding peace. So when I first saw that, I was like, "Ugh, like, what am I going to be losing money? Am I going to be losing like a bountiful harvest of something in my life that I've worked hard for?" And it's actually like a pretty positive card. So month was I personally think it was all about relationships because like relationship with myself, relationship with other people, relationship with family. It's just kind of one of those like, okay, I'm going to see the positive of this. Like I am happy with who I am now. If like others cannot see me as that person and cannot take that love and let it be, then maybe I shouldn't. Like, I think this is better for my mental health for you to not be involved, kind of thing. And I don't remember exactly when it happened, but I do know back in like the springtime was when my grandma and I started fighting again.
Mm.
So it was like I voiced my opinion on something, and instead of saying, I see your opinion, but I don't agree with it, kind of thing, it was a blow up of you're disowned, this, that, like instead of just letting it happen and then just loving me for the person I am, it was kind of annoying and hard. Um, so I think during that time, I was just like, okay, I don't have as great of a relationship with my family as I once did. And that was because I went to college. I feel like I've learned things, I've seen other perspectives, I've been in other situations that I would rather be the person I am now than who I used to be because that was not a good person. And that's
Mm.
about growing.
Gotta grow out of that small town mentality.
Yeah. And
Blech.
I think I just like, I'm in a bigger town. Not a lot of people know me. I'm in the South. Like, yeah, there's probably racist people. It's not a, like, if I see it, maybe I don't notice it. Like, it's not as like out there as someone from the North blatantly saying something that's very, very racist. It's like borderline down here. Like they put the nice smile in front of like a bad thing. Southern hospitality. But like I'm just sitting down here like I guess I just don't I don't know, I just feel better. I just feel like
Yeah,
up north I'm just not a good person. Maybe not
fair.
north like where I was, but like growing up where I was.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's hard. It's hard to grow and change your opinions when you're surrounded by people that disagree with you.
all the
Like,
time. It's kind of one of those things too where like you know how you like lose a family member and you're just like, man, I remember them for all of this, but then you start thinking about like all the negatives they also did and then you're like, damn,
yep.
like I shouldn't have held them to that pedestal as I once did. But also I do care about them for like these things. Like, did they do bad things? Yes, but also were they in a situation like myself where they could see the differences and see bigger changes out there? No, they were born and bred in the same environment that I was born and bred in. So it's all they know. And then it's like, well, how far up does it go generationally? So then it's like, I'll see the positives and I'll acknowledge the negatives, but then not blame them as a person because they probably didn't know.
Yeah.
I started my
It's a
shadow work early.
process. It's a process. um June. Oh, excuse me. June, I got the death card, which is all about transformation, metamorphosis, endings. Tr- this card can signify that you're trying to hold on to something that's still causing trouble. Um, and I kind of discussed like summer job plans that I was unsure about. or just like changing my job. But unfortunately, I did not um, like listen to this card. Um, Still, and I stayed in the same job and like doubled down. Um, and unfortunately, my misery doubled down as well. Um, I did not let go of the thing that was causing me trouble. I stayed. Um, and I put my trust, and this is something that I've always struggled in because I'm so fiercely independent, but I put my trust into other people and was majorly let down um, by people that I thought that I could trust to support me. And this is all people in my job realm. Like, um, so the I should have listened to the card and made a change then, but everything happens for a reason, so we'll find out.
That's why never mind, I can't say it. Never mind.
Okay.
Make a note of that. I'll tell you afterwards.
All right.
I'm so glad the realization hit me before I said anything though. Like, I'm growing. Will would be so fucking proud. He'd be like, you
Look
just
at you
just
go.
talk and then everything just comes out of you, and then all of a sudden you just realize what you say and you're like, well, I already said it. Gonna go with it.
Too
Let's talk
late.
about it. Yeah. Anyways, June, I had the Nine of Cups, which is all about achievements, recognition, and success. So June, I just feel like overall we had a lot of good successes in like this past year. Um, Here and there, obviously we've had a lot of lows, but like I think June was really really great because that's when we started getting more of a concrete plan for the podcast and like an idea. Like we started sticking more to like we're gonna do this, this, and this. We're gonna make it a little bigger than what we had, open it up kind of thing. And we got a lot more viewers. We were able to get a lot more people, reach more people. We like
Yeah.
hit every single continent except for Antarctica, but scientists are down there busy working, so I'm not. Please don't. But I don't know. It's just I think we did a lot of achievements, and I think we had a lot of success, even if it was minor, but it was still more than we had
Yeah.
before. So seeing the positives.
I like it. I like it. I over these summer months was not listening because July I also did not listen to this card. It was the Hanged One reversed, which is all about letting things go, seeing things from a different perspective, being ready to make sacrifices, being at a crossroad, not able to make decision, and not paying attention to real needs and causing frustration. Um, and then we talked about like was work causing me stress and should I go back to work? Um, Having a lack of direction at work, not knowing what to do. And I wrote that I had a lot of stuff to think about this summer. Unfortunately, I, instead of letting go of the job, let go of some of my frustration. And I threw myself into preparing for the following school year. Because I had a good team, like I had good staff. Um, and I was ready to jump in. I had all of these plans. And then unfortunately, I was failed by those people that I put my trust into and was had my staff cut and then was not able to put all of those brilliant plans that I came up with into play because I didn't have enough people to do so and still don't. Hint, hint, TSC.
God forbid you help a teacher in mental health.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I'm bitter.
So July 10th, not 10th, July. The way I the way I typed these out made no sense, but I was also like typing quickly, like shorthand writing, so that I
Right.
could get ready for the like next card since we were doing it right then and there. So a lot of these looks like dates to me, so I have to catch myself. All right, July, I had the 10 of cups, which means homecoming, fulfillment, and happiness. So for July 4th, which is for people who live outside of the United States, our Independence Day. And that week is normally very, very busy during the summer months for everybody. That's just fireworks everywhere and just barbecuing and
I
at the lake.
detest that week. Hate it.
It's the
Least favorite
hottest
holiday.
every
Hate
year.
it.
It's one of the hottest weeks.
It's disgustingly hot. Our neighbors put off fireworks where they're not supposed to. This past year, we had literal like bottle rockets in our backyard that someone had stuck in the ground, which means that someone was in our backyard letting them off. No, no, hate that holiday. And I hate the idiots that it brings out.
Man, what you couldn't do as the HOA president next year. Hmm. Spoiler.
Surprise!
Hmm. Wonder if they know.
I truly did not go into that meeting planning to walk out the president of the HOA. It was not my intention. Um, but
And you're just
when the
like,
people at that meeting started talking, I was like, oh no, oh no.
I am here to save
And
my
here we
peace.
are.
Walking out the new president. I love that. I love that for you.
Literally, so funny that you just said that because look at my HOA notebook. Love that journey for me.
Okay, I've never watched Schitt's Creek, but I have watched enough clips to know who she is and
Bruh,
who
Schitt's Creek is
she
the
is as.
fucking best.
So I started watching. I watched like maybe like 2 or 3 episodes of it, and I really liked it. But I'm not a big TV person. I will
Same,
watch
but it's the
probably like a season or two, and then I fall off. And just I'm like, all right, I'm over it. It's the same thing. Like
I
right
think
now,
there's
we're
only
watching
4
Teen
seasons,
Wolf.
4 or 5.
Okay. See, we tried to get through like the 15,000 seasons of Supernatural, and we made it to season 7 before
Okay, that's a
I was tapped
terrible
out.
one to start with. Because it's got so many seasons. And then, like, the
It's the
last,
same
like,
thing
3 or
every
4
season.
seasons. Yeah, on the last 3 or 4 seasons, they really should have just quit. So, like,
I think
that's
that
a
some of the
tough one.
actors even said that, but
Yeah,
I mean, right now we're watching Teen Wolf.
that's a really long one too. I haven't
Six
watched that one, but Brittany
seasons.
has.
Yeah, 6 seasons. It's fucking stupid, but it's so funny. Will's like,
Okay,
this is one
yes.
of the most stupid like, it's corny. It's a
Yeah,
corny. It doesn't make you uncomfortable like how some corny TV shows or movies
yeah.
go. It
But
makes you
it's very,
laugh.
like, high school teenage drama
Oh
with
my
werewolves
gosh.
thrown in.
I sit there and make a joke about everything. Like today, in one of the episodes, the main characters play lacrosse. So like lacrosse is one of the sports in the show. And there's a new character, and I was like, I think he's a werewolf. I think he's a wolf. I just don't understand how he could be all of this. And the main character goes, I can't smell him. I don't think he's a wolf. Like, he's got no scent. And I just looked at Will and I was like, because he's burning allomancy. He's an allomancer. And then Will just looks at me like stupid. And then all of a sudden they like do like this little rah noise and I lose it. It's the stupid things that like make me
Yeah,
go through it. Like it's so fucking stupid. But it's funny. And it's got Dylan O'Brien in it. And let me tell you, I love Dylan O'Brien. He is great, phenomenal.
yeah.
Anyways,
Well,
it's so stupid.
Schitt's Creek
But
is
I
the
love
one
it.
TV show that I've seen all the way through multiple times. So, and I don't really do TV, so like
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I
it's good.
give me like an animated like TV show like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Sailor Moon, like any anime, like I'll probably watch it all. But there's one anime that I struggled getting through, and that was Dragon Ball Z, because every other episode, almost every episode, it's literally the same plot. Somebody's got to train to power up to be the strongest in the world to save the world. Now he's at this level, and then he trains for 5 days, or he's like dead for 7 days, And all the while, everyone else is dying in one battle that happens for 7 fucking days, 7 episodes. Dragon Ball Z. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, anime is not my jam. I tried, but I just can't.
You're like, I just, you just, you haven't seen an anime though. That's good to make you think differently.
Brittany watched Demon Slayer,
That's not
and I
bad.
would like
That's
watch a
that's
few
not like
episodes.
tier. I love anime worthy.
Yeah. I
Like
watched a few
animation
episodes with her,
story.
and
Mm.
um I like the idea. And if it were, well, it is a book. If I were to get the manga, I would probably read it and enjoy it. But I just can't watch it. It's so corny. It's so like, I don't know. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should watch a tearjerker anime or a
Maybe.
horror one. July and April is
Mm,
pretty sad. Break your heart.
I don't know. What
Anyways,
month are we on?
I don't know.
August?
Oh, yeah.
August.
Did you already do your August?
No. I have the Six of Wands reversed. Still have work to do before happiness or success. Fight for what you want and reassess your goals.
Did I do mine?
Um,
Did I do mine
I don't
July?
know. Did you?
I don't know.
What is it?
I don't. 10 of Cups.
I think you did.
Okay, I don't remember it. Listen, I'm so tired. I
Um,
don't remember it. Go ahead.
girl.
Sorry.
Um, I wrote that I was preparing for back to school, or I would be preparing for back to school at this time. Pretty accurate. I put in a shit ton of work for back to school and was like, I'm going to be proactive this year and I'm going to do all these things to be ready for back to school. But I think that I put all that work into the wrong thing. I think I needed to put that work either into myself or into finding a new job, because I put in all that work and then had to waste most of it because the school corporation failed me by cutting my staff. And not only that, but they didn't notify us until like the week before school started when they
Yeah,
knew
that's
in May.
shitty.
It was really shitty. The whole situation was. And then like when we were trying to advocate for our students and fight back, like they weren't listening. Like these are legal documents and we don't have the staff to meet the things in these legal documents. And it's just been a hot mess. It's been bad. Um, and August was really rough because of it. So um, I definitely still had work to do for happiness and success. And I was fighting hard for what I wanted and needed to be successful. Um, but again, I think I was fighting for the wrong thing. I was fighting for everyone else, and I was fighting for my students, which I'm a teacher. That's what we do. But I think at that point, like I was fighting and I was being basically just brushed off. Um, and I needed to fight for myself in that instance, and I kind of failed myself there. Don't worry,
How
I'm
dare
I'm
you?
better now. But
Yeah.
that was
See.
August.
Yeah. You know what? I realized I didn't do July. We literally started talking about 4th of July.
Oh yeah, we did. You said 10 of Cups and then
That was
talked
it.
about 4th of July. You were like the 4th of July and the yeah, okay, go back,
Yeah.
do it. And then go ahead and do August
No.
as well.
Okay. So 10 of Cups is homecomings, fulfillment, and happiness. The beginning of July was really actually kind of stressful because that week of July 4th we went to visit some friends. Um, that was very stressful because we had somebody who's never met anybody else in the group, in our group. We had to bring our dogs because we have very strong feelings about it. Other people in the group, because we were all going to get one cabin, didn't like that, didn't want to do that. So we had to get separately. And then when everything all said and done happened, like we had to apparently we had to follow an itinerary, and then it was just like there was some things that we never knew about that we wanted to do. No one ever said anything about this. And then we changed the plans because we really wanted to do that. We offered for them to come. They didn't want to come. They didn't want to do this. They want to do that. We had spent all day and we were drinking, not all day, but like a lot of the day. We had did a lot of exploring and we were tired and we wanted to stay back. We had a plan to like do like a cookout, and we bought food for this cookout. We brought it, and then the cookout never happened with the other group, and like we were really upset by it because we spent so much money on everything. And even that morning, on that trip that morning, we had planned to do that evening. Nothing changed other, like we did our own things during this time, and then that was it. We were like, hey, we're going back to do this, and our plan was to come back out, go back downtown, and go out and drink. That didn't happen. Nobody wanted to come out for the thing. Myself and another female in the group, we were very annoyed, very upset. We didn't want to see the other group at that moment because we were just over it. Like the preparations that went in place prior, during the day, and then now for it just to go to waste. And like that's $200 of money that we didn't have because we wanted to do a nice gesture and pay for every single food for like 7 people. And then it didn't happen. And then that just turned everything sour for the rest of the trip. And that was only day 2. So then when we came home, I honestly felt such joy to not be there anymore. And I felt fulfilled because I was able to see like my long distance friend, and like just the other two just didn't seem like they cared to see us, and we just felt like we were just there because we invited them, and that they didn't want to see us, and like any attempt to see us, we had to go to them. And it just didn't, it
Yeah.
wasn't very fulfilled on that part. It was more fulfilled in my own cabin, and like we had fun despite all of that. And so like coming home, I felt great because I got to see Chloe, and it was fun and I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy the outside my cabin drama.
Yeah.
And then
I
at that point
remember
I was just,
you messaging me that week, like while all that was happening, and just being like, that really sucks. Like,
yeah, we spent a lot of
ugh.
money for 2 of us to spend 4.5 days in just pure anxiety ridden like tension. It was tension, like whenever, wherever we were, it was tension. Like we, like almost the
Yeah.
last day we were supposed to meet up to go to dinner, and then they ended up going to dinner before us, and then we told them we were on our way, and instead of telling us like, oh, the line's going to be like an hour long for you just to even get up here, but we're not going to wait for you, we're just going to go to dinner anyways. And it's like, oh, well, we were supposed to get dinner together, that was the plan.
It
And
sucks.
you guys didn't even wait for us, like you guys didn't even bother, and then you guys get upset with us because we don't wait for you for an attraction that we were told we had to be at before. So like
Yeah.
don't get mad at me because I'm treating you the way you treated us. So
Yeah.
I knew
Nope.
coming home that
Bye.
like this, yeah, these friendships were over. We haven't talked to each other since July. Like they haven't reached out to us, we haven't reached out to them. And I honestly felt like I had a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders. Like I was sad, I was upset, but I felt fulfilled because I knew exactly where I was in their life, and I just felt like better about myself. Anyways, August. That was July, and
August.
all of that happened in the first week. So that was wonderful. I had King of Wands reversed, which is forceful, powerless, and weak leader. Um, August was really rough at work, just because I had weak teammates, or like a weak team, and maybe that was in part on my fault. Like we're a busy store. I train people in the ways of my department and sometimes on the register. So just in general, like I train them. Um, they were not holding, like they were not up to par, and I think it's because I had weak skills as a leader. Um, mainly because like whenever I was in like a leadership role, I still had somebody telling me what to do. I just implemented it. And I
Yeah.
think that's just because I worked with kids with autism. Like I had somebody higher than me tell me how to do it, and then I just did it, and then I just tell them if it worked, yes or no. Um, so then now that I had my own thing, and I was told by my leadership, like, all right, that's your team. We're second line of defense, third line defense. It's you. And then I didn't do any of that because I think I well, one, I lacked confidence in my leadership role. I also not like in the position that I had to do everything. It was just me as a leader telling my people this is how we have to do it, keep them up to standards, like be firm when I need to. Like I was in like transitioning out of that, like I want to be the friendly manager that everybody likes and the one that they
Yeah.
come to when they need help. And then that like hard, I need you to do this or I have to do this to you kind of thing. So August was really rough for me at my job because of that.
Yeah. Management is hard. Like it's hard to manage people, especially cuz you never know what you're going to get. Like people are
Yeah.
all different and they're all going to react different to different things. It's tough.
And it's really hard too when you work for a corporation because that corporation it's a trickle down effect. Like whatever's happening up top trickles down to the next person, then the next, and with each level it goes down, it increases in intensity. So then it's
Yeah.
stressful on our leaders to tell us how to do it, and then like we know the line, and then we have to make our workers stressed out because of how they have to do it. And it's like, I mean, we join them, like we do it too. It's not like I'm telling them,
Right.
hey, go kick
Do
rocks
as I say, not as I
as I
do.
sit in the office and do nothing. Like I'm actively like, hey, I need you to do this so I can do this, so I don't have to like stop what I'm doing to come over here and do this. Like I am trusting you to complete this task while I complete this one
Yeah.
as a team. So retail
So
management in a corporation is rough.
yeah, no thank you.
September.
September. 3 of Wands reversed. Um Still have work to do before going public with ideas, clarification, blessing of others. We had talked about my business idea that I had, and it's still a good idea. I did not go for it because the Taurus and Capricorn rising in my chart don't like the lack of security and stability that come with owning your own business. Um, I'm not sure that I regret not doing that particular idea, but I do regret not doing something because I think I regret in August when I found out that they were cutting our staff and just gutting our whole program, not being like, okay, here you go, I'm done.
Yeah,
But I had
like we
already put in
promised
so
you
much
this,
work.
and yeah.
Yeah, I had already put in so much work though that I stuck with it. Um, but I definitely think that I was working hard. One of the things that card is blessing others or getting the blessing of others. Um, and I think that some of it was I needed someone to tell me that I was not being irrational, that I was not that I was being treated unfairly and that I was being put in an unfair situation.
You wanted support,
And
like you wanted
yeah,
acknowledgement of your concerns.
and I've had multiple people, including people that I work with. But I think the person that I always need it from the most is Brittany. Um, and they, everyone that I've talked to, my therapist, Brittany, all of those people, um, agree that I'm in a possible situation and that if they're not going, like I'm fighting for what I need, but if they're not going to bend, then I'm going to break ties. So
Yeah.
that was my September.
Um, High September was the Emperor. So this is all about stability, focus, and control. Um, so September was like a time where I started coming to terms with like that friendship ending. Um, I was like sad about it and I was still grumpy. Um, but I wasn't lingering on it. It wasn't I wasn't taking that victim road where, well, what could I do to make it better? Like, what, so I can keep that friendship? Like, if they're not fighting, then why should I, kind of thing. I'll support them from afar, but that's it. So I was getting that like mental stability when it came to that I was controlling my emotions, focusing on what I should focus on instead of stuff that happened in the past that I can't change. So I was growing um, in that moment of like, I'm focusing on my career, I'm focusing on who's currently in my life, um, and what I want out of the future. And
Yeah.
I was really starting to get super involved with like acting, like sending auditions out everywhere, focusing on the behind the not the behind the scenes, but like the voice acting and working on voices and changing pitches and seeing how I can manipulate the voice to be a character,
Yeah.
and just kind of take that role. So I was getting more involved in that. So I was putting my time and effort elsewhere into other things that I wanted to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good month. Well, I about dropped my drink. They missed an opportunity with this shirt, I just realized. Like, the thumb should be on this side.
Unless it's the other hand.
So now, lucky for my left side, apparently.
I mean,
Whatever. I love
um,
this shirt.
it is a really cute shirt. I feel like how your September kind of became your introspective, like focusing on yourself month. My October was that. I had the Hermit, guidance, solitude, inner wisdom, self evaluation, offering help, gaining a therapist. The Hermit could be my therapist. I got my therapist in September, but we really started to delve into things in October. Withdrawing to do soul searching and being honest with myself as gaining perspective. Literally, wow. Like, October was when I really started thinking to myself. I hadn't started being as vocal about it yet, but I was done. I was done with my job. I was done with the bullshit that I was dealing with there. I fought so hard because teaching is what I'm good at. Like that's what I was meant to do. Um I love the kids and I have passion for the job like but the public education system, especially in Indiana, is just a complete travesty right now. Um and I even at this point, this in October, I didn't tell anybody, but in October, I started looking for other jobs because I had like gone over it and over it and over it in my head and was like, what else could I do? But unfortunately, like in the situation that I'm in, there is nothing else that I can do. Um, I can continue to tell the people in charge and I can continue to work with what I've got, but that's not fair to me or my students. And I'm not one to stay in a situation that is not serving anyone in the situation. So
Yeah.
that was the point when I decided, like, I'm done.
And, I feel like even if, so like, for instance, you are telling all your worries to like the higher up management, basically, there. Um, and they're listening, but they're not, and it's not like they're not attempting to do anything because some people are going to be like, well, you got to go through the school board, you got to go through the government, you got to go through this, you got to go through that. That's not what I'm saying with them not doing anything about it. Like, they could go to those school board meetings, they could fight for those kids, they could voice the teachers' concerns instead of dealing with it as, well, this is our school, we can't do this here because of these reasons. Like, you're not even attempting to address those reasons. You're not
Yeah.
going to
And
the people in charge to ask. and demand and do all of this. Like, you're not rioting.
And like my building admin did go to their people above them and were like, this is what the problem is. And they were basically told no, and they just accepted that. That's not
Yeah,
okay.
like,
Like
you're not
we can't
continuing the
accept that.
fight.
We are not doing what we are supposed to be doing, what we are legally required to do, and it's not okay. And I think in October I was at the point where I was just covering my own ass. I continue to reach out and let people know, hey, these are not being met. We are non-compliant right now. And I was doing everything I could, and I just wasn't being heard. Or if I was heard, I was kind of like pushed to the side. Like they thought that I would go away if they continued to ignore or give me excuses. No. Well, I am going to go away, but it's going to cause you even more problems when I go away because I'm leaving. Um,
Honestly,
and I
though.
don't
And
think
that's
that
kind
they're
of like the
used to
best
people that do
revenge.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Bye.
Bye.
So October 2nd, or not 2nd, sorry. God. October, I had this 2 of Pentacles. Damn it.
You're gonna be all right.
No. No, I'm not. Because listen, okay, this is Emily running on like 70-hour work week. I honestly didn't get a 70-hour work week, but I worked like a 10-hour shift, 10 to 11-hour shift on Friday. I'm really tired. Really tired. And it's also, when we're recording this, the very beginning. It's like towards the beginning of December. It's not when it airs on the 30th. So it's not like I'm ending the 2023 and entering 2024 like this. Like, dude, it is retail in the very beginning of the holiday season, and I am tired. So, damn it, I'm not okay. Anyways, um, 2 of Pentacles. So October, I was actually supposed to have a few friends come and visit and stay with me, and we were gonna go out see the town. Like, I took the entire week off. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks before, Will was actually offered a brand new position, and he left his old job, which he worked from home. He was already given the 2 weeks off, and I mean, his goal was just that, but he also couldn't take the entire week off that we had friends coming. And then my one friend ended up not being able to come because she had an unfortunate circumstance in her life. So then it was just one of our male friends that we never met in person. It was somebody that we gained with for the while. Um, and he was coming to visit, and it was weird because he is a very private person, and that's fine. He's very good with the flow. That's fine. I like go with the flow, but I like an idea. Like, are we going to be outside? Are we going to be inside today? Because I need to know how to dress. I need to know if I'm going to be hot and sweaty, if I should put my hair up, if I should take a shower, wash my hair, or if it's just going to be up in a bun, it's not going to matter. Like, I need to know these things. And when it's, I don't know, whatever you want to do, drives my anxiety insane. Will does it too. Pisses me off. But 2 of Pentacles was all about adaptation, flexibility, and stretching resources. Not only did I put myself into a very anxious that I've never really done that before um thing, so like my anxiety was stretched thin. I was easy to annoy, very easy to annoy, very easy to frustrate. Um, but I was also showing that I didn't have a lot of flexibility. Like, I was feeling the rigidness of, I need this plan. Whether or not I have an exact plan, I need a type of plan. So I was feeling that I am very rigid and not very go with the flow like I always thought I was. And then I'm stretching my social capacity because I would wake up, I would sit in silence maybe for like a couple of hours, do like a little like talk here and there, maybe go do something, and then that's it. So I was in my anxiety element for a whole week, and I was not prepared for anything because I also had to elongate my anxiety meds because we have new insurance, and that new insurance was not going to be kicked in until January, and my medication is expensive and I can't afford it without insurance. So I had to start taking my anxiety meds three every 3 days, just so I can make it last for the rest of the year. And that's 3 months that I'm talking about. And I just
We talked
refilled
about
it.
this, right? We talked about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so October, I didn't do any acting. I was spent. I didn't want to hang out with any friends. I didn't even get on Discord the entire. Actually, I haven't been on Discord since, like, in a call with other people since October. And it has nothing to do with the person who visited. That it's just I was outside of my element and I was outside of my comfortability all week long, and I was so exhausted mentally. I like was going through it in my brain like I am so rigid. I can't believe I'm so rigid. I've never been this rigid. Like I used to sleep in fucking cornfields on the dirt just so I could drink and party with people. I would go to people's houses I never met before. I'd hang out with people way older than me, like predator situation, and not give a damn. Like when in my life have I ever been this rigid? Like I was mentally going through it. So listen, social Emily was out of the fucking room, out of the building, out of my life starting in October. And it's been like that since.
Fair, 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 fair. November? November.
No.
I had the Five of Wands. Competition, ego battles, bickering, self interest causing negativity. Focus on getting back on track, defending your territory, fighting to hold on to what you think is yours. Try to be objective. And I said in the episode, keeping my priorities straight is the goal. And yikes. Right now we're recording, it's the beginning of December. So November has just ended, but I was going through it in November. I was trying to be objective at work and not take things personal, and make everything about the kids, but I wasn't given what I
How
was needed to
dare
be
you as a
successful.
teacher support your children?
Right, right. So I decided to prioritize myself and my home life. No sooner than I made that decision to prioritize myself, my grandfather passed away, my paternal grandfather. My dad called me for the first time in over a year. Um, and I talked to him for a little bit. We went to his house to see him that day. Um, and it was just a hot mess of a week. And there was lots of like strange feelings, which I think I talked about on the podcast as we were going through that. Um, and then no sooner than that's over, it's like Thanksgiving week. I got sick. I've been sick since the Wednesday before or the Thursday before Thanksgiving, and I am still sick at the beginning of December. So like November
Going
was just like
around.
a shit show, like just a fucking big old ball of shit. And it sucked. But even through that sickness and everything, I was prioritizing myself. I did not worry about not being at work on the days that I stayed homesick. I did not worry about work when I was at the funeral. I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to prioritize myself, my wife, my animals, my friends, and then trying to build back some of those relationships with other family members, as long as those relationships serve me, which right now they are. So we'll continue to see how those go or whether they go back to sour. But uh, that was my November. It was a shit show.
I had King of Cups reversed. So overwhelmed, anxious, withdrawn, selfish. So
Daylight
bleeding,
saving time.
yeah, that too. So bleeding from October to all of that had happened in October, all the anxiety that I was feeling. I was just very worn out, obviously. So very withdrawn, very overwhelmed because I also, having to deal with those emotions, had to deal with the increased customer because of the holiday season starting up.
Girl,
Thanksgiving,
I just
Black
went to PetSmart
Friday.
yesterday and spent $150 on these animals.
Were you nice to the workers?
I was.
Okay.
Although
See, that's
we
all that
did
matters.
get there at like 8:30 and they closed at 9, so I did feel a little guilty about that, but we didn't make a mess.
See, honestly, I don't really give a shit if you come into the store at so close to like closing. The only time I give a shit is if you come in 15 minutes and you're not like, I literally just have to get food. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you come in strolling along and you just fucking ignore us like we're peasants. I'll be sitting there, like, closing down the registers, like, sitting up on register, waiting for, like, my cashier to go do stuff. Because, like, my stuff's done right now. I'm going to help them out so that we can get done. Because at night, I'm taking this register. Like, there's no reason for them to sit up here. And you come in and I say, hi, welcome to PetSmart. Or, like, hey, how are you going? Like, welcome in. And you just stroll on
Yeah.
by.
No. Well, they
Like,
were busy when we got there, so
oh,
nobody greeted us, but that's okay because they were busy. And we got out of there before 9. Like we got out of there, I think it was like 8:45. So we
you want to
got in,
know
got what we needed, and got out.
there you go. You want to know the amount of people that get so butthurt that you don't say hi to them? A lot.
Oh
Like,
my God, no, I know. When I worked
I
at
got a
Subway, we were
complaint.
supposed to say welcome to Subway every time people walked in the door, and people would get pissed if you didn't say it.
Like, please don't acknowledge me. Like, I'm just here to do this. Please just leave me alone.
Right. Like, leave me alone.
Like, I don't come. Oh, God. Yeah, I had to call this guy and be like, hey, apologize for not saying hi to you when this person walked in. That's not the customer service way. That's not how we do it. But
Ugh.
I'm not giving you anything for free. So, like,
Yeah, get over it. Get over yourself.
it's not like you had a problem with the product. You literally just got pissed off because my cashier didn't say hi to you because he was working with the customer. You literally come at 5:30. That's like busy time. That's rush hour for PetSmart.
Right. Everybody's getting off work. They're coming, dropping in, grabbing stuff, going home. Ugh.
Like, fuck you. Anyways, um, so yeah, I was very I was very selfish in November. I wanted things like my way. I not my way, but for myself.
Hmm.
I wanted fucking Thanksgiving. I wanted Will to help me cook because I saw a really sad uh commercial and it made me think of my mom and all the cooking she does and I was like
Oh,
crying. I was like, I want to cook for Thanksgiving. And he goes, okay, we can cook for things. Okay.
oh,
And we did.
William.
And we did.
I love that.
So it was delicious too.
Nice. All right.
But anyways, December.
December. I got the devil. Um.
She a devil. She a bad little bitch. She a rebel.
Obsession, fear, indulgence, egotism, reevaluating the people and things that are keeping you chained. Time to let go of inhibitions, figure out what is true or false for you. Might be a time to change your job or stop neglecting other areas of your life. Huh. Say less. It's really I
Shocker.
literally put in my notes, I am shooketh.
Your bike went out.
Uh-oh. Why?
Wait. Something went out where I don't hear you. That's
Hello.
the sad thing. I don't know if it's me or if it's you or if what's going on.
My mic is still on.
No.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Uh-oh. I can't hear you now. Ah!
I think it was my headphones.
Now you're really loud.
My bad.
It's fine. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I literally wrote in my notes, I am shooketh.
I'm shook.
Because that's what I wrote. Because, like, I literally am considering changing my career at the end of this month. I am considering not going back. And I have talked to people about this, so this is not like a revelation for anyone. And by the time this episode airs, I will know whether or not I am doing that. But like, I have also decided that if I don't switch jobs at the end of this month, I 100% will be at the end of this school year. Whether I leave education or find a different role in education. But either way, like the fact that it specifically mentioned changing your job and stop neglecting other areas of your life is insane, because I feel like that's what I've been doing. Like I started getting my nails done. I have been spending
I'm gonna
time with
get my
friends
nails done.
outside of work. Um well, I know you can't come to her because obviously states away, but Brittany's cousin Clara has a nail studio in Indianapolis called Ink and Ivy. And like there's a um piercer, there's an esthetician who is working on getting her tattoo license, so she'll be doing like fine line tattoos and other tattoos. But it's a really neat little shop, and I recommend them a lot. um but yeah, I've started doing things to prioritize me and my family instead of my job, because they don't prioritize me or really put much into me. So I'm done.
And that's on mental health.
Yes.
So December I had an eighth. I did not have an eighth. Eight of Pentacles. See, that's my thing. I'm trying not to say pentagrams, and then I fuck up elsewhere. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is all about skill, talent. Are you okay?
I have a hive on my tongue,
No,
and
thank
I can
you.
feel
Please
it.
put that away. It's all about
You're welcome
skill.
to our YouTube video, viewers.
It's all about skill, talent, quality, high standards, and dedication. Um, so I've done a lot more in my practice, a lot more dedication towards, I wouldn't say like necessarily like the podcast, but like dedication towards trying to, like, we're brand ambassadors, like, so trying to do more for that. Not really succeeding, also still the beginning, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
what the goal is, right? Um, I've checked out like small shops that sell witchy esque things. I am trying to get not necessarily more in the Christmas spirit, but more into like the Yule spirit. So doing things pagan based. So we got a real tree, which I just out of like, we literally decorated last night, and out of the blue, I just stopped and go, is this sustainable? Like, I started thinking like the brand that we're like working with, and I'm sitting there like, is this sustainable? Like, should we have done this? Like, is having a live Christmas tree like better for the environment than like going to get a synthetic one? So like, just trying to do like that high standards for like myself and like for my practice and for like, I don't know, just my life in general. Just
I
trying to
feel
do
that.
more things and be more dedicated
I
to
like
things
it.
that I've like slipped.
Yeah, I've let a lot of things slip. I let my practice slip. That was another thing in October. Brittany and I worked together to put together our ancestor altar. Like we found pictures and like different, not necessarily trinkets, but like I have one of my grandpa's pocket watches, and
Mm-hmm.
another one of my grandpa's. He always wore glasses, but he had those like clip-on aviators that go over
Oh yeah,
your regular glasses. So I have those, and I put those on there. We have a lighter from Brittany's grandpa, like just all these different things. And we spent time like going through it together and really like thinking about those people and thinking about their memory. And it was really like powerful. So just getting more into that and keeping up my practice and um, I don't know, being more intentional
yeah,
about things that are important to me is big right now.
I
So
agree.
yeah. So that is our
This is
review.
I
of
really
2023.
liked this. I
I did
liked
too.
this. I enjoyed this because, like, I sitting here looking at the cards, looking at what was predicted, and then not necessarily matching it, but just thinking back on like my months. Like, normally I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't remember what I did yesterday, but like seeing these things triggered like a memory, and then it's like, oh, and then you see how far you grow, and then oh, that's so nice. I like this.
Yes.
All right.
I like it too.
Until next
It was
time.
good.
Yeah.
Bye.